What we're about to show you might change your entire playlist. These 10 songs from the 70s were created by women who never had another hit, yet their voices defined the soundtrack of the disco era, soft rock revolution, and everything in between. We've tracked down the real stories behind these mysterious one-hit wonders, what happened before their moment of fame, and where they went after the spotlight moved on. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Desert Dreaming, Maria Muldaur's Oasis. Remember those exotic lyrics about sending your camel to bed? Maria Muldaur's Midnight at the Oasis wrapped listeners in desert fantasies back in 1974, her sultry voice painting images of moonlit sand dunes and romantic escapades. Born Maria D'Amato in Greenwich Village, she cut her teeth in the 1960s folk scene alongside Bob Dylan. After leaving the Jim Kweskin Jug Band and divorcing bandmate Jeff Muldaur, she took a chance most women wouldn't get, starting a solo career at age 30. That signature hit almost missed the album entirely. Producers worried it was too quirky with its Middle Eastern sound and suggestive lyrics. Good thing they changed their minds. The song reached number 6 on Billboard and earned her a Grammy nomination. The Bell That Couldn't Stop Ringing, Anita Ward. When Anita Ward's phone rang in 1979, it was opportunity calling, and what a call it turned out to be. Before the disco lights found her, Ward was just a substitute teacher in Memphis with a psychology degree. She sang in church choirs while building her teaching career, not knowing music would soon take over. After hitting number 1 in the US, UK, and Canada, Ward seemed ready for stardom. Then a serious car accident hit. By the time she recovered, disco was dead, according to the music industry. Though she kept making music, nothing ever matched that first success. The British belter, Kiki Dee's Musical Soul. Before Elton John came calling, Kiki Dee made history as the first white British woman signed to Motown Records. Born Pauline Matthews in Yorkshire, she started singing professionally at just 16 in the early 1960s, building her foundation long before American success. After years of struggling, 1974 brought her breakthrough with I've Got the Music in Me. This soul-infused anthem showcased her amazing vocal range, with raw energy and passionate delivery that pushed it to number 12 on US charts. Though she never reached the US Top 40 again as a solo artist, her 1976 duet with Elton John, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, hit number 1. Funny thing is, many Americans never connected her to that earlier hit. Houston's heartbreak anthem, Thelma's Disco Triumph. When Thelma Houston belted out Don't Leave Me This Way in 1977, few knew about her long journey to that moment. Born in Mississippi but raised in California, Houston, no relation to Whitney, started in gospel choirs before legendary producer Jimmy Webb discovered her in the late 1960s. Despite releasing several albums in the early 1970s, success kept its distance until Motown paired her with a song originally recorded by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Houston transformed it into a disco masterpiece with her passionate vocals. The timing couldn't have been better. Her powerful voice captured disco's energy and soul's emotional depth, just as Saturday Night Fever made dance music mainstream. The song earned Houston a Grammy Award, making her the first solo female artist at Motown to win one. The Five Stairsteps' secret weapon, Alohe Jean Burke. The Five Stairsteps were mainly known as a family band of brothers, Clarence, James, Dennis, Kenneth, and Kenny Burke. They got nicknamed the First Family of Soul, and most of the attention went to the guys. What people miss is that sister Alohe Jean Burke was crucial to the group. Her feminine vocal texture gave OOH Child its distinctive, uplifting sound. The song offered musical comfort during a time of social unrest, reaching number 8 on Billboard. Though they recorded into the mid-1970s, they never matched this success again before going separate ways. Rocking That Chair, Gwen McCrae's funk classic. When Gwen McCrae told listeners to sit in that rockin' chair in 1975, She was fighting to create her own identity. Her husband George had already topped charts with Rock Your Baby the previous year, casting a long shadow. Born in Florida, Gwen started in church choirs before forming both a musical and romantic partnership with George. Working with Harry Wayne Casey and Richard Finch, the guys behind Casey and the Sunshine Band, she found her distinctive voice with Rockin' Chair. The song's catchy hook and Gwen's confident delivery pushed it to number 9 on Billboard and number 1 on R&B charts. She proved she had talent all her own. The child star phenomenon, Lena Zavaroni. When 10-year-old Lena Zavaroni stepped onto the Opportunity Knox stage in 1974, nobody expected what came next. This tiny girl from a Scottish isle belted out, "Ma, he's making eyes at me," with power that stunned everyone watching. Unlike other one-hit wonders who just disappeared, Lena's story took a darker turn. She battled anorexia from age 13, becoming one of the first celebrities to publicly struggle with the eating disorder. Despite performing for the Queen and on Johnny Carson, her health problems took over her life. Lena died at just 35 in 1999. Disco's night owl, Alicia Bridges. When Alicia Bridges declared, "I love the nightlife, I got to boogie," in 1978, she created a disco anthem that defined an era. The funny part? She didn't even like disco music. Raised in North Carolina, Bridges was a rock and blues performer at heart. She wrote, "I love the nightlife, disco round," as a playful comment on disco culture, never expecting it would become her musical legacy. The song's distinctive bass line and her talk-singing verses captured the late 70s club scene perfectly. It climbed to number 5 on Billboard and became a disco staple worldwide. What many didn't know was that Bridges was openly lesbian when this was extremely rare in the music industry, making her success even more remarkable in the conservative 70s. A taste of success, Janice Marie Johnson and Hazel Payne. Before Janice Marie Johnson and Hazel Payne had us all singing Boogie Oogie Oogie, they were playing for tips in Marine Corps officers' clubs. As a taste of honey, these women broke barriers in the 1970s. They weren't just singers, but musicians playing their own instruments when women rarely got respect for that. Their catchy bass-driven hit spent 3 weeks at number 1 in 1978 and won them the Grammy for Best New Artist in 1979, beating out Elvis Costello and the Cars, who ended up with much longer careers. After the group split, Johnson went into music production and advocated for Native American music, honoring her Stockbridge Munsee Mohican heritage, while Payne pursued acting. The female voices behind a male hit, Patrick Hernandez's backing singers. When Patrick Hernandez declared he was born to be alive in 1979, his voice got all the credit. But listen closely, the song's infectious energy came from powerful female backing vocalists who rarely got recognition. This disco anthem topped charts in over 15 countries and sold more than 5 million copies. Those female voices created the memorable call and response sections that made people dance. Here's a fun fact. A young Madonna was briefly hired as a dancer for Hernandez's European tour after the song's success. It was one of her first professional entertainment jobs. Conclusion. These women gifted us perfect musical moments that lived on long after their chart success faded. Their voices became fixtures in our memories, proving that one perfect song can mean more than years of hits. Look at their backgrounds: teachers, gospel singers, child stars, session musicians. Talent came from everywhere, but the music industry rarely gave women second chances in the 1970s. Next time these familiar tunes play in a movie or commercial, remember the real women behind them. Their stories didn't end when they left the charts. They just changed direction, each continuing her unique journey beyond that single perfect hit.